So you're thinking about renting a vehicle, but you don't just want any run-of-the-mill automobile. No, that just doesn't do it for you. You want something fun, exciting, exhilarating, something that will really get the blood flowing. You look into renting a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but you find out the cost to rent one of those for the day is the cost of a mortgage payment. So you scrap that idea and now you're stuck. But maybe you don't have to be, because I have the perfect solution for you. Say hello to the Polaris Slingshot. And today, we're gonna be reviewing it. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video I have the pleasure of reviewing this beautiful Polaris Slingshot right here behind us, courtesy of our friends over at Bionic Slings. You can rent this Polaris Slingshot for only $250 a day, guys. That is hundreds less than renting a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, or even an Aston Martin for one day. Also, as you can see, because this is an open-top roadster, the Polaris Slingshot delivers a great driver experience similar to that of a modern-day roadster. If you guys are interested in renting one of these, then after you've watched this video, go ahead and click that link in the description down below to book your reservation today. So without further ado, let's jump into today's review. The Polaris Slingshot was released in the 2015 model year and can be purchased for around $20,000 brand new. It's like a cross between a car and a motorcycle. You sit in it like a car, but you have that fast driving open air feel of a motorcycle. So as you guys can see, the Polaris Slingshot comes standard with two 18-inch wheels in the front, and as we pan to the back, one massive 20 by 11 inch wheel in the rear. As a matter of fact, in most states, the Polaris Slingshot is classified as an autocycle. What that means is that you can operate this thing with a regular driver's license. There's no need for a special motorcycle license to operate the Polaris Slingshot. After all, it isn't operated like a motorcycle, so it would make sense that you would only need a regular driver's license to operate the Polaris Slingshot. You do sit in it like a car and it does have a steering wheel. However, it doesn't have any doors or windows or a roof, although you can purchase a roof from Polaris if you chose to do so. Now you may be asking yourself, well, if it doesn't have a roof, then what do you do in the event that it rains? Well, don't worry. The designers and engineers at Polaris have a solution for that. The Polaris Slingshot is essentially waterproof. The seats are waterproof and it has forged aluminum row hoops. What that basically means is that you can drive the Polaris Slingshot in the rain and not have to worry. Well, you'd have to worry about getting wet, but that'd be about it. Although the Polaris Slingshot is a cross between a car and a motorcycle, it is actually powered by a car engine. In fact, it is powered by a 178 horsepower, 2.0 liter 4-cylinder. Let's dive deeper into some of the more interesting features of the Polaris Slingshot. So the company behind this exquisite design, Polaris, is known for their motorcycles, snowmobiles, off-road vehicles, and even boats. So it would make sense that they would make a vehicle that kind of fits in the center of their Venn diagram. This two-seater open-air vehicle has gained popularity in warmer parts of the US, like South Florida and Southern California. Not only has it gained popularity since its release in 2015, but for a price tag of $20,000, many might say the Polaris Slingshot is well worth the price for a vehicle so fun to drive. So diving into the powertrain of the Polaris Slingshot, the Polaris Slingshot is actually rear-wheel drive. And it's actually really rear-wheel drive, and that's because it only has one wheel in the rear, guys, as contrasted to a car that has multiple wheels in the rear. Well, you know, two or more. The design of the taillights is actually really cool, and the third brake light is integrated into this kind of shark fin design, which is a really nice touch. In order to fuel up the Slingshot, the fuel cap is located towards the rear driver's side of the vehicle. You just twist this cap off and you can fill up your Slingshot. As we move to the front of the Slingshot, we have a hood that spans almost half the length of the vehicle. To open the hood of the Slingshot, there's a latch underneath the Polaris logo. All you gotta do is pull up on it and that releases the hood latch cable. The hood of the Polaris Slingshot is actually front hinged, so it opens away from the vehicle rather than towards. To open it, you just kind of pull up and out, just like this. Now, funny enough, when the hood of the Polaris Slingshot is open, it actually covers the taillights. But I guess you wouldn't really be driving with the hood open, so I guess it really doesn't matter. So although 178 horsepower in this engine might not sound impressive, Polaris also released a 203 horsepower version of the Slingshot called the Slingshot R, that makes a little bit more power. However, when paired with the Polaris Slingshot, it seems fitting. After all, the Polaris Slingshot only weighs 1,750 pounds. When you add that power to weight ratio, it really delivers a driver experience that is like no other. Because the Polaris Slingshot is lighter than your average automobile, it really delivers a different driver experience. As we discussed before, the Polaris Slingshot is an autocycle, and because it is an autocycle, it doesn't qualify for many of the safety regulations that regular automobiles may face. For instance, one regulation for an automobile would be that automobiles have to have windshields, and as you can see, the Polaris doesn't really have one. Well, it kind of does, but this is more of a visor than a windshield. As a matter of fact, it's kind of ironic because the last vehicle that we reviewed was the Tesla Model X, which has the largest production windshield of any vehicle ever produced. And here we are reviewing the Polaris Slingshot, which may quite possibly have the smallest windshield of any vehicle ever produced. Also, the Polaris Slingshot does not come equipped with airbags, as that is not a safety regulation for an autocycle. Let's go ahead and climb into the Slingshot so we can take a better look. So as we climb into the Slingshot, the first thing that we notice is that in the center console, there is this sticker that says that this vehicle does not conform with safety regulations, which is concerning to say the least. Another interesting fact about the Polaris Slingshot is that from model year 2015 to model year 2019, they only offered the Slingshot with a manual gearbox. After model year 2020 and up, they offered it with an automatic. And as you can see with this one here, we have the 3 buttons, one that says reverse, one that says neutral, and one that says drive. To park the Slingshot, all you have to do is hit the neutral button and pull the e-brake up, similar to that of a manual car. To drive it, you simply press the D. To reverse, simply press the R. One might say that Polaris chose to go with an automatic transmission instead of a manual to appeal to a wider audience. To start the Slingshot, all you'd have to do is press this engine start-stop button here in the middle. Older Slingshots required a typical key in the ignition, but still had a start-stop button to start and stop the engine. In the center of the dash, there's also a traction control button, as well as the hazards, in case you become a hazard to anyone on the road. There's also this screen here in the middle of the dash that controls all of your radio features. Older models had the buttons on the side of the screen. This newer model has them underneath the bottom. This is a 2021 Polaris Slingshot, so there have been a few changes from the older models. The rest of the interior of the Polaris Slingshot has been designed with one word in mind, that is durability. As we covered before, the Slingshot is essentially waterproof. Therefore, the floors are hard plastic, the steering wheel is hard plastic, the center console is hard plastic, and so is the shift knob if you have a manual version. This all ensures that if you were to get caught in the rain with the Slingshot, that your interior wouldn't get damaged. One other interesting feature of the Polaris Slingshot is the fact that it comes with cup holders. And when I say cup holders, yep, that's right, 2 cup holders. Not to think that many modern day supercars don't even come equipped with cup holders at all. That is definitely a nice touch. Polaris has thought of every feature. From the gauge cluster on the Polaris Slingshot, you can filter through things like mileage, fuel economy, so on and so forth. One thing that really caught my eye was that the gauge cluster goes up to 220 miles per hour. Now, the Polaris Slingshot is only governed to about 125 miles per hour, but I admire the optimism from Polaris. Another cool feature, however, about the Polaris Slingshot is that it does rev really high. As a matter of fact, it revs all the way to 8,500 RPM. So, like I said, it's a cross between a car and a motorcycle, because even though you sit in it like a car, you still have that high revving feel of a motorcycle. So in terms of storage, the Polaris Slingshot does have a little bit of storage space. Now right here, there is a glove compartment that you can open. As you can see, it's pretty big in there. And this particular Slingshot does have 2 cubbies behind the seats where you can store and hide your belongings if you needed to. Alright, so in terms of performance, I know this is the part that everyone has been waiting for. The Polaris Slingshot does 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds, and as we covered before, it is limited to about 125 miles per hour. However, in a 3-wheel, open-air, 2-seater vehicle like this, I couldn't imagine going any faster than that. So in conclusion, after reviewing the Polaris Slingshot, I have decided that this vehicle is for the person who loves to have fun. Once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Bionic Slings for allowing us to review this beautiful machine today. Remember to follow them on Instagram. I'm going to link their Instagram down in the description below. And if you do want to rent this beautiful Slingshot, then definitely click that link down in the description to go ahead and book your reservation today. So once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the people behind the camera today. As you guys can see, my hands are free. They're also dirty. I was trying to open the hood on this thing. But I'd like to give a huge shout out to the people behind the camera. Shahid for helping me record this video today, and my beautiful wife, Michaela, for setting this up. It's actually my birthday today, guys, and she surprised me with this amazing machine. So huge shout out to them. And just like that, guys, we've reached the end of today's video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to smack that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, and guys, before you go, Cameron actually just made a really great suggestion. He said that I should tell you guys, if you want me to review a specific car, put it in the comments below, right?
Yes.
Or if you guys like me reviewing these cars, then definitely let me know in the comments below. Till we see you guys next time.
Peace, guys.
Another thing that I forgot to mention is that this Slingshot actually is tricked out with all these cool LED lights all around, and they change colors as well. They span all the way through the hood and over the top, the mirrors, even into the interior. As you guys can see in there, the speakers light up, and there's even underglow that changes colors. I can't wait to take this thing out tonight because this is going to be crazy. This is going to be like a light show on the road. Another cool thing, or I don't know if it would be a cool or not so cool thing about the Slingshot, is that you can't turn the headlights off. So as soon as you power on the Slingshot, the headlights are always on. If you do want high beams, these in the center are your high beams. When you pull back on the stock, they will get brighter. They will illuminate a little bit more. But as long as the Slingshot is powered on, the headlights will always be turned on. The Slingshot looks so sick rolling with those LED lights. It just illuminates the whole street. Look at that, guys. You know, it's funny because growing up, I was never really a fan of neon lights, but after seeing the Slingshot, it makes you want to put neons on the S2000. What do you think about that? Look how crazy that thing looks, guys. Look at that. It just looks like a transformer back there, yo, with all those neon lights, all those LEDs all over it. Michaela is loving that thing more than I am. She's whipping it. As you guys can see, I'm in the S2000 and she's in the Slingshot.